Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Tone Shift, as always. And with me today, we have our cast of players. We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Thanatos, our male human Dark Knight.
Hi.
He will also be handling the roles and general combat actions of one of the NPC party members, Kyra Nightstar, a female human dragoon. Next up, we have Darkness playing Alistair, our male human paladin.
Greetings, you wonderful people of the internet.
And last but certainly not least, we have Tom117Z playing Neathil, our female Elvon Ranger.
Hello.
And of course, I'll be controlling the other NPC party member, Mika Solwyn, a female Mithra Red Mage. So, where we last left off, our intrepid band of adventurers had concluded their business in the city of Hanta Durzbanga, striking down the elemental archfiend of fire, Zaltea.
So we think.
The following meeting with the Banga Itsakaro, or Itoxafen rather, whatever. I'm starting to lose those terms. They're not relevant anymore. I stopped committing them to memory. Bagamnan, who was the head of the city and whose mate, Trigana, was possessed by Zaltea and piloted around as a flesh puppet, lay dead.
Yeah.
Bagamnan was displeased and essentially exiled the party from his city in response.
He told us to fuck off.
He was very...
It would have been worse if we mentioned that the last time they did the nasty sheet, Joe was already dead.
He probably connected those dots himself. Guy's arrogant, but he's not stupid.
Yes, let's bring up the necrophilia again.
Yeah.
I mean, we never told him she was possessed. We just told him that that the Firebird killed her.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did we really need to go into detail, Tom?
Anyways, following that, the party took up a position outside of the city, and with some clever use of the Summon Pest spell used by Thanatos, they were able to get in touch with the carrier of Ifrit's Fire Crystal of Light, a Banga by the name of Velmarak, to meet with them at their airship. At the following meeting, Velmarak did not relinquish the crystal to the party, as it so happens the crystal did not resonate with any of them, and its will was to remain in Velmarak's care.
We need a rocket.
We need our burb.
That said, Velmarak did entrust to the party an Ashen Tear Stone, a very rare arcane item that Nia has been searching for quite some time, with the power, if applied correctly, to prevent the premature end of one's life. Now then, following that, the party decided to make their way next to the city-state of Pierra Oasis, in the hopes of locating Leviathan's water crystal of light. Their arrival in the city went without issue, and there they rendezvoused with one of the other groups that is helping them on this endeavor, consisting of Sid, Nabat, and Elizabeth. They met with the leader of Pierra Oasis, the mayor, where Mika took the helm of the conversation and very rapidly demonstrated that she is not emotionally in a place to do so. Still shaken and rattled and emotionally distraught by the events that transpired in her hometown, resulting in its submergal beneath the waves.
Click, 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 click.
Thank you for that, Hades.
Take 50 points of damage, and fuck you.
Yeah, Haley, that was just dark. You said it, you're the Dark Knight, you edgy motherfucker. Why?
That was horrible, man. Come on. Jesus.
That joke was dark even for my standards.
Your standards.
How can you be dark? You're a paladin.
I wasn't on about Alisai per se, but eh.
Anyways, but regardless, Following that meeting, the party was granted authorization to make their own attempts to investigate the island in the middle of the lake that Piera Oasis is built on the shores of, this towering spire of blue crystal that is constantly emitting a thin stream of water known as the Blue Tombstone. It was turning towards the evening hours, mid to late evening, as the party departed from the office and began to make their way back towards the airship tower. And so, it is as the party is making their return to the airship tower, where the little wing, still damaged and broken up from its fight against Altea, is docked, that we begin.
Sid is repairing it, Schultz swearing and grumbling under his breath the whole way.
Indeed. And so, all right. So, we open up as you're all stepping out onto the platform that the little wing is tied to. And indeed, you can see Sid is currently stationed on one side of the hull, sort of hammering away at a piece of metal, a little bulkhead that looks like a big fugly patch, just dong, 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 dong. I need new paint, dong, dong, dong. I need more nails and rivets, dong, dong, stab it, dumb fuck.
So, it's going well.
Was that in character?
Yes.
He looks back at you and is like, you have any idea how irritating it is to try and repair a gape in the hole this big? I'm gonna be working on this overnight. Ah.
Well, we'll probably need it tomorrow. We might be running into mist dragons.
I mean, she can fly, just, remember, she's taken a beating, So,
Yeah, well, we're gonna avoid as many as we can, but on the off chance, it would help if a dragon couldn't just crawl its way into the engine room.
right, well, that's what I'm working on. Dun, dun, dun. Still, getting this patched up is probably gonna take the whole night. Might even take a little tomorrow, who knows.
Well, for now, it doesn't need to look pretty. Just whatever works.
Right. He shrugs and he gets back to hammering.
Where's Biggs and Wedge? I'm surprised they aren't helping with this.
They're currently inside fetching supplies. They'll be out in a few minutes. Look, I don't just have big-ass sheets of metal lying around to fix gaping holes in the hulls of other people's ships in mine. Stuff's heavy. And very, very clumsy to try and carry around, so they're having to buy that.
Well, if you need anything from us, say the word.
Well, I would say don't go ripping giant holes into the side of your airship, but I know what we're doing, and I can't really reasonably ask that, so...
I promise to try.
That's about all I can ask for.
Just not sure those mist dragons are making the same promises.
He's focusing on his work.
So, what are we doing until then?
Well, unless Sid has anything in mind for us to do, I suppose we get some rest for tomorrow, despite the inevitable banging and soaring.
Definitely could use a bit of rest.
Yeah.
I could use it. I could use a drink.
That's your answer for every situation.
Hey, I had to go and deal with a whole city of Bonga, and we had all that bullshit to it. I think I deserve a drink. Don't you think?
Nah, true. You know what? Might even join you before I sleep.
It's the spirit, Allie.
Well,
Screw it, I'm
so-
coming too.
What was that?
That was Mika. And then Kyra's like,
Why not? Kinda curious to see how good of a gut you got.
and she elbows Thanatos in the side.
I've heard stories, but I haven't seen it for myself yet.
Well, I guess I'm vetoed. Alright, I'm in.
Alrighty. Well then, if the goal is to go and find a bar, this was not in my plan. I don't have a name for one.
We
Well,
shall try
you should
you
always
again.
assume there's a bar. We have Thanatos in the group.
Yeah.
Or at least some form of tavern nearby.
Right, you head back down into the city, descending the airship tower, leaving Sid to his work. And the nightlife of the city seems to be relatively active. You can see that there are plenty of little strings going across from rooftop to rooftop over the main streets and wider thoroughfares as you step back out that have these little bulbs that start to light up in the night like little dragonflies. Looking at them, you get the impression that they're powered probably by some very rudimentary magitech. Filling the air with this little gentle electric buzzing sound as you're passing under the wires and cables. It doesn't take you long to find a tavern nestled comfortably on a street corner with some very boisterous and energetic music coming from inside. A sign swings over the door, gently creaking in the breeze, made of palm tree wood, if you had to crack a guess, that reads, "The Slobbering Goblin."
Really?
I couldn't think of anything else. Shut up.
He has, for the context, he has a habit of calling people slobber goblins. So,
Yeah, and the illustration on the sign, you see this very cartoony drawing of a goblin with a big-ass beer mug frothing over the side and a bit of drool coming out the side of his mouth, his eyes pointing in different directions, and like a sleeping, one of those bedtime sleeping caps sort of flowing wildly off of his head as if he's in the middle of a tango and is about to fall to the ground.
well, I can't say it's the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's on brand.
All right. So yeah, stepping inside, you are greeted to a very energetic atmosphere, to be sure. Off on the left, there appears to be a more quiet region of the interior. It's largely just a bunch of tables and chairs with people sitting at them, though they are being rather boisterous and energetic in their talking. At the back of that section, you see a raised platform where a band is playing some form of energetic and sprightly music. Lots of drums and flutes and plenty of strumming on guitars and other stringed instruments, creating a very lively and energetic atmosphere. And off to the right, there's a little stairway descending down onto the medieval equivalent of a Middle Eastern dance floor. A big, wide open space, clear of obstructions, plenty of little chandeliers hanging from a high roof overhead. And you can see plenty of people just milling about, dancing, chugging, and any number of other appropriate things for this sort of environment. I don't go to bars very often. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Me either. Only time I go is when there's a gig in town.
And I don't really either, but I think we can safely say, yeah,
Okay.
I've seen enough anime to know what to look for.
There's probably a table where they're doing some kind of gambling game or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like somewhere over there, someone's playing dice, and you hear one of the guys at the table go, "Oh God, damn it! 5s again! Shit!" All right, what you guys doing?
So, you see a place where we could sit?
Yes, let us find a table.
All right.
Well, you lead the way. This is your domain.
Yes. Come along.
Thanatos' domain. I was
love
expecting
how
more doom and gloom.
I love how he no longer even denies that he's a booze hound.
Considering I've drunk all of you under the table, I think will accept
Yeah,
it.
but last time you did lose your scythe.
I still won the drink.
Yeah, but I technically won the war because, I
Speaking of
completed
which,
my intention, and you were none the wiser until the next day.
I got it back anyway.
'Cause I
speaking of
gave it
which,
back.
you two are planning to have a challenge again. Count me out. I am
Oh
not.
no, nothing like that.
I don't think the challenge would be quite a good idea, especially in the city of water.
Besides, he's pretty fearful that next time he'll lose his breeches.
You already did that
Ex-
once.
Lose my what?
Lost your breeches. That happened
Okay,
once.
out of character. I'm not getting it.
Underwear.
I thought you meant his pants. Because that did happen once. His pants just fell off once.
When?
Oh, that was back in Nee's arc. Remember, you were in the Elvon military camp and you weren't getting up, so Nee unbuckled your trousers. So when you got up, they just fell off in plain view of fucking everyone.
I kind of blocked that out of my memory. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, I wonder.
So yeah, you got embarrassed in front of the entire ranger camp.
So
I bet your other self remembers.
So yes, back in character,
Yes.
Thanatos is going to just slowly give me a deadpan look, and then flicker in the ear.
Can I roll to dodge?
Thanatos, make an attack roll against Nee's avoidance.
Fuck. You can't just let me have my fun, me.
No.
We already got here, and you're having a little bit of a moment.
13.
Hey, it's
All right, so yeah, he flicks you on the ear. It hurts. No, that's about it.
okay. Neothil will remember that.
Like a Telltale game. Nee will remember that.
What's that supposed to
While that's going on, I was going to roll for awareness just for a table because they're having a little bit of a flick fight.
Sure, go for it.
It's not a flick. I flicked her. There will be no flicking back. Besides, it's easier to hit her ear than mine.
Okay, yeah, it's easy enough. There are a few empty tables with enough space for all of you. So I take it the group goes and gets situated?
Yes.
All right. So you get comfy, you spend a couple minutes just listening to the ambience as you wait for someone to come round. The ambience is energetic, to be sure, and eventually the band starts playing a new song, and it's catchy. Can't help but tap your foot to the beat a little bit for those of you who are so inclined. And after a couple minutes, a pretty tall female Galka woman of pale skin comes up.
Hello? Welcome to the Slubbering Goblin. What can we get for you?
Pint of ale do me.
What?
A pint of ale will do her.
Ain't.
A pint. Alrighty.
Ale. Specifically, ale, not the strongest ale that results in butter, you bastard.
All right.
I could go for a pint of cider.
All right. Points at you, Thanatos.
Excuse for me.
Whiskey. Then she points at Kyra. Normally this would be the point where I'd take over, but just since you're the one who invented the character, what'll Kyra order?
Let's do whiskey as well.
All right. And
Tamika.
Mika will she'll ask for a cider as well because she wants something that tastes good. So in total, tallying all that up, that'll account to about 90 gil in cost.
And we got plenty.
Yes, you do. I need to pull up the calculator because this game is so numbers heavy. Alrighty.
Remember when we were poor?
Either way. So she takes your orders, nods, and heads off. And if you want to do anything while you're waiting,
Oh. I mean, other than the mayor being an absolute useless lout. This place isn't so bad.
Oh, it's better than the sand.
I mean, as much as I loved being back in the desert, we could have done better than that city.
Well, we're not going back there anytime soon. I don't think the Ganon would be welcoming.
Oh, certainly not.
And that's Kyra.
But I mean, hey, if we want to itching for sand,
She gestures.
there's some around here.
Hey, if you want to go make sand angels, that's fine by me. I'll be waiting here amongst the grass, the trees, and the niceties.
These sand angels were fun when I was a kid.
I was being sarcastic, but hey ho.
What about sand devils? Did you ever do sand devils?
Pretty sure he is a sand devil.
Aw, Nee, you say the nicest things.
I think he's a
I
sun
know.
dog.
Wouldn't it be a sand puppy?
She sort of reaches over and pats Thanatos on the head.
I think this puppy's slowly growing up. Hey, give it time. Eventually he'll be a giant kick-ass sand wolf.
I will be the biggest and kick-assiest sand wolf. Thank you.
Oh, you had better. I'm paying very close attention. She winks. Don't disappoint.
Quite the promotion.
Yes.
After a second, Kyra sort of looks down at the table, then looks between the rest of you.
So, wait, question. A second ago, Nee, you mentioned that you had the water, quote-unquote, that comes from this town, right?
Yes. Twice.
Twice. And how-
First time it didn't go well. It knocked us out immediately. Second time, we managed to power through it, though quite a lot of time and things that happened between those two events.
As the
I know
waitress
for
is
a
walking
fact.
by, Kyra flags it down and is like,
I'd like to change my order to a glass of water, capital W, please.
and
Uh,
the waitress sort of raises an eyebrow, looks up and down.
You sure got the liver for that, lass? I'm sure. If I don't, I will soon develop one. Broken livers heal back stronger, you know.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
Well, that's how it works with bones. Do you know how many times I broke my shins in Dragoon training?
I'm no expert, but I don't think livers are bones. Mika, back me up here.
Miko just leans back.
Oh no, go on, I'm enjoying this.
Why must you encourage them? I thought you were meant to be the sensible one of us.
I am, but I'm also trying to relax.
I'll
The only
need.
thing-
Let us have our fun.
I had no objection to letting you have your fun, but I'm just pointing out that if your liver explodes, it is not our fault.
Duly noted.
Why the hell has my mouse cursor disappeared?
Mm.
Like, it's still interacting with shit on the screen, but it's otherwise just invisible. I can't fucking see it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, it's a big-ass problem. I kind of need it. Oh, there we go. Don't know what that was about. All right, anyway, so after a
The
couple
only thing
minutes...
I could bring.
Go on.
Okay. The only thing I could bring to the table, at least it won't be her first alcoholic drink. Unlike with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, but I don't think she's had anything quite like this. All I can say is don't take a gulp, start with a sip, and you'll very quickly know whether you can handle more.
She's a
Chances are-
dragoon anyway, she'd be fine.
Now I'm wondering what would happen if a dragon drank it.
That would be funny. And interesting and worrying to find out.
Well then, after a couple minutes, the waitress comes back with a collection of drinks, sets the mugs in front of everyone, including a glass of a perfectly clear liquid in front of Kyra.
Oh my.
Oh, it looks like water. It won't taste like it.
Well, it does taste like water, it just kicks your senses like a freight truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely a big kick.
I always
Oh,
imagine
yes.
it looks like water has the texture of water, but I always imagine it just tastes of pure alcohol.
Well,
Well, I
that's the
guess-
thing. It doesn't, technically speaking, have alcohol in it. The effects are identical to that of alcohol, but it's made using dissolved minerals from those leaking blue crystals you guys got in your pockets.
I'm sure that's healthy.
And they've been selling
Well-
it for years.
As the phrase goes, down the hatch.
Yep. Wish me luck.
Kara picks
Yes,
up the
like a
mug,
short night.
and Kara takes her glass, takes a big old swallow. Thanatos, I need you to make a force check for Kyra.
Oh dear.
You could see a single sweat of tear going down Anna Sire's face.
14.
She just
Or-
missed it.
Just missed it.
The requirement is 15.
I know it.
So Kyra takes her big old drink. She sets the glass down, sort of lets out a belch. Sort of looks over at you, Thanatos, and her eyes are sort of rolling around in her head like,
I think I got it.
she looks down at it.
When I got to my hands.
Oh, fuck. And she just topples back and crashes to the floor.
And there she goes.
But you hear a bunch of cheers going throughout the place as everyone sort of looks over and realizes what happened. Yeah! Another one bites the dust.
Thanatos. Wanna try and match her? Or beat her? 2 for 2.
Or be a gentleman and help her up.
She's
I mean-
cold.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's gonna gently pick her up and kind of just get her to lean on the table and with her head in her hands, kind of get her to just like in a somewhat comfortable position.
You never done anything like this before, have you?
Done what?
Help a person out while knocked out.
Well, she wasn't knocked out, but Nee was a little loopy that one night in Marasu.
Alice might want to preemptively cast a Poisona so she doesn't wake up.
Absolutely.
I'm already ahead of you.
Alright, you cast Poison on Kyra, and you hear her giving off a few quiet little mumbles. Something about a poodle.
So, Thanatos,
Yes.
are you going for it or not?
Hmm. Well, he's debating in his head like 2 times, and I can't remember. Did he actually make it last time?
Yeah.
remember.
What? Yes, we all, Alice, Nee, and Thanatos all made it last time.
You know what? Fuck it.
I mean, you're one each way. If you succeed this time, you've got a more success ratio.
There you go.
I forget, has
Alright.
Mika had water yet?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm just curious,
I
has
don't-
she?
I don't think her innocent little kitty liver can.
I
Yeah,
recall
he definitely
every
did
previous
not.
occasion she has decided to be a spectator because it was amusing to watch.
Alright. Thanatos is going to slam his fist down on the table, and just flag down the waitress and ask for another deal of water.
Well, I mean, you have that one there, don't you?
I mean, did she finish it?
She gulped
She,
it
d-
down,
she didn't finish the whole thing, but the glass did topple with her down to the floor. So there's just like a shot's worth of water that's currently seeping into the brickwork of the floor.
Oh, yes. He orders
Yeah, that's
another
a
one.
goner.
Yep. So you order another one. The waitress looks down at your whiskey, looks at you, looks at your whiskey, looks at the rest of you, looks at Kyra, smirks, and goes to get your drink. And comes back a minute later.
Alright, let's see if you can repeat your victory.
Oh, dear. Here we go.
hitting you.
Damn it!
You just make it. So Thanatos, you consume the water, and you know what's coming. You've done this twice. You brace yourself. You harden your senses. You look at Caius in your head, and you're like, hey, back me up. And he's like, I'm not touching this. And you immediately feel it hit your system. Your senses sort of spin around for a second. You don't even know how that works. How does your sense of hearing spin? But it does. But after a moment, you shake your head. You are drunk as fuck, but you are awake and you powered through it.
And just as he finishes the glass, he slams it on the table. You see that?
Impressive! But don't forget, you have your other drink to finish as well now.
I don't think he really needs it.
Oh no, he does.
Tell me what I need, Allie. And he just takes the mug and just chugs it.
You mean
Well,
your,
for one
you
thing,
mean
a
your
breath
whis-
mint.
You mean your
Yeah,
whiskey
the-
shot glass?
He's downing his
Shot glass, yeah.
Okay.
downing his whiskey.
Okay, make another force check, please.
Do I have any negatives?
Sure, suffer a -4.
Fuck. Should have kept my mouth shut.
Well, there's one thing you definitely need is a mouth mint.
Finally.
No,
Finally!
just a couple short, sadly. You needed an 8. So you take the shot of the whiskey, you set it down, you look around at everyone, and your vision just kind of starts to blur and swirl and liquefy.
Okay, but now, if you're gonna have him fall down, can you have him fall
Knees-
forward to
knees going-
where his head lands almost
knees
right
going
against
to-
Tyrus?
Yeah.
Actually, Nee's going to kind of stand up and catch him and kind of just place him down the table, pretty much in the position he described.
Yeah. Okay. So you now have 2 unconscious, heavily armored individuals sleeping on the table, their heads right next to each
As
other.
Nee sets him down, she goes, remember that flick? And she's going to take the cape. Or saying, Caius, you're coming with me for a while.
Can she hear him with now holding the cape?
I mean, Thanatos is just straight up unconscious.
Yeah.
No, can she hear Caius while she's holding the cape?
Well, first, I need you to just roll me a flat d6.
Me?
Yes.
Why?
Just roll me a flat d6, please.
I'm starting to think Persona is for the mentally challenged.
4.
All right. So, Nia, as you're sort of taking the cape off, after a second, it turns to shadow when your hand slips away, returns to Thanatos' shoulders, flutters a bit, and holds still.
Come on, Caius, don't be such a spoil sport. Besides, don't you want him to learn his lesson?
Make a negotiation check against the cape.
Against Caius Artorial.
Technically, it's a cape. How good is
Hey,
Nia
you.
negotiating right now?
Not very good, apparently.
That's a critical failure. So, Thanatos, could you remind me what negative status effect spells you know?
I think the only one I have is poison.
I think that's a bit too malicious, that one.
Yeah. Okay, so the cape is just going to lift up like the cape that Doctor Strange has and just slaps Nia across the face.
In that case, I'm taking the scythe again.
It makes a little motion that you can only assume looks like a shrug and goes limp again. Like, go for it. You can just call it back.
Actually, what else does Thanatos have in his inventory? Do list.
You want me to just go to a list of what he's got?
Yeah. What am I suffering?
Okay. I mean, other than his weapons and his armor and his belt, there's the Chocobo Whistle, Vermilion's Edge, High Potions, Lockpicks, High Ether, Phoenix down, and an elemental cloak.
Somebody to take it. I'll just take the scythe again.
Okay.
Just take the scythe again.
All right, you take the scythe. This one has more heft than the last one, being the one that came from Ravenos's carcass. Chunky. Alright.
Well, if guys is going to be a spell spot, I'll go with the old classic. He's not the only one that's going to be 2 for 2.
Well, yeah. Well, you can't call that one back.
Jesus. Mika just giggles at the exchange, holds up her cider glass.
And this is why I like hanging out with you guys.
Of course you do, we're charming. Some of us more than others.
Just a
Looks like
walking
kind of
storm of chaos.
Alasar is just watching all this unfold while sipping his cider.
A walking storm of chaos fighting to restore order to a chaotic world.
So does that mean we need, in that case, chaos fixes chaos? What?
I mean, you
Use the
fight fire
chaos
with
to
fire.
destroy the chaos.
I mean, hey, you fight fire you fight fire with fire, right?
Yes.
No, I'm
There you
not
go.
sure how practically that works in combat situations. I mean, doesn't an elemental resistance to fire negate? Well,
Mika's
fire?
tail lifts up and just pushes itself against your lips.
Don't make me
So-
bite this thing.
I'd like to see you
Yeah.
try.
You are
She's going to playfully bite the tail.
you are so lucky Thanatos is unconscious right now.
Okay, go ahead, make an attack roll against Mika's avoidance.
She dared her girlfriend not to bite the tail. She's going to bite the tail.
You do know that you're going. If this succeeds, Nee will be in the doghouse, right?
Yes, worth it.
Ouch.
Okay, so Mika takes 6 points of damage.
It was a playful bite, I did say. It
It's her fucking tail.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm trying to bite it off. It's like,
Okay, so either
Still
way,
sensitive.
either way, you just kind of and you hear Mika go and yank her tail back, glares at you, and immediately goes for her book.
hey, you dared me, and it's a very cute tail.
It's a what tail?
Cute tail.
Make a negotiation check with a -4.
Alright, so in other words, +1. Nine.
She glares at you for a second, pouting, takes her hand away from her book.
You're gonna pay for this later.
Oh, I'm counting on it. Big shit-eating grin.
Oh, lucky.
She just maintains very, very deliberate, glaring eye contact as she takes another sip of her cider.
She just meets the glare with a much more goofy and slightly enamored expression.
Inside, you can hear Emma going,
This is so saccharine it hurts.
Oh, hush.
all right. Anything else?
Nothing much as Alasar enjoying his cider and still debating when to use Persona on Thanatos.
Gee, thanks. Kyra gets it immediately. With me, no. No.
it is.
I see desire on the.
I
Sorry,
believe
no.
you've made protestations in the past about having received Poisona. Like, I don't need your magical shite or something along those lines.
I was still drunk at the time.
Yeah, you can't hold Thanatos accountable for what drunk Thanatos says. That guy's an idiot.
True.
Yeah.
But he still needs to learn.
So what's his
When to
excuse the
stop.
rest of the? So what's Thanatos' excuse the rest of the time?
Bias.
I feel he would resent those accusations.
Oh, I do.
I'm just imagine. I'm just imagine he's just shaking his head in disappointment.
Oh, I'm sure he does that quite consistently.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, if there's nothing else, y'all take a little bit of time. You finish off your drinks. And thanks to Nee's little handy-dandy ability, I'm assuming you're going to just get a room here so you don't have to listen to Sid pounding away at your airship.
Can do.
Okay.
The question
So-
is, do we have to carry two of the party members now, or is one of them at least able to stand?
You have to carry them, but to be fair, you guys have carried much heavier things and fought things like 70 times larger than them, so it's child's play to haul their drunken bodies up to their rooms.
So who carries who?
Well, I'm gonna carry you because you're the heavy bugger.
So I think it is carrying Kyra then?
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty much.
All right.
Must be slightly difficult to carry because Dragoon armor is spiky.
Oh, yeah. But once everyone is sequestered away in their beds for the night, y'all hunker in for a night of sleep. Me and Mika a little later than the rest of you. Mika definitely makes you pay in her
Ooh.
own little
sure.
private way.
I'm sure she does. We all know that she's in charge up there, so
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we know who wears the pants in that relationship.
At least when in the bedroom.
Hmm.
Anyways,
One does simply not bite Mika's tail.
Anyways, so that night, as you're all sleeping away, dreams come to you.
Oh, fuck.
They're disjointed, fragmented, blurry. It's hard to remember the details. The one thing that remains persistent across them, somewhere deep in the backs of your mind, this giggling sound.
Giggle? What? Like a childish giggle or a maniacal giggle?
Like a more subdued Mark Hamill's Joker,
Oh, lovely.
as if giggling at some morbid, hilarious joke, but trying not to be heard.
You know, I thought there was a reason why I had tearing in my head.
any chance that with Nee's recent experience with magic regarding dreams that she can try and get a read on this?
Not at the moment. You don't really have a presence in what you're seeing. Not really. It's strange. You're not even fully aware of yourself as you're seeing the images unfold before your eyes. Hectic and indecipherable as they may be. You can, as I said before, hear the giggling coming and going in the background, interspaced with clashing images of swirling whirlwinds of white and blue and deep abysses of murkiest black. Spikes and tendrils criss and cross. And then again, as before, you see the rippling of ocean waves over your heads, receding away, farther and farther. Bodies drifting beside you, as far as the eye can see. But as before they were struggling, now they're sundered, riven, torn apart. Dismembered limbs leaking inky blood into the water, obscuring it, poisoning it.
I think you're right about that water fiend.
Hold you.
Then the giggling comes again. Make him scream, eh? And then this colossal form, indistinct, a shadowy blur that swallows the entire ocean beneath you, pushes through the swirling, inky blood, tendrils reaching out, teeth gnashing. You feel something wet and slippery coiling around your paralyzed form. You can feel your bones crushing inside your torso as they ensnare you. You can feel your mind breaking down, blood oozing from your nose, your eyes, your mouth, your ears, every open orifice in your face, just leaking crimson. And then teeth. Shredding flesh, the squeal of metal as your armor is plucked from your body. And then your flesh. Rent, sundered, pierced. Torn apart like a fleshy dinner meal. The crimson is replaced with black. And you all wake screaming. In your beds, in the in-rooms rather. Covered in a cold sweat. What do you do?
I imagine the most interesting deal is in me and Mika's room. Because
Probably.
Mika's probably having a small panic attack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you both wake up screaming, but Mika's eyes are darting left and right at the moment she comes back to awareness.
You too?
Yeah. Damn it!
They're fucking with us again.
I can see that. Damn it.
Hey, it's alright. It wasn't real.
I know. But it really felt like it.
That laughter, that was new. We're two fiends down. Fire, earth. You would think water, maybe. Oh, sorry, it was lightning and fire, wasn't it?
Yeah, lightning and
Yes.
fire.
Yeah.
Ravenous
Maybe
only had a sub-elemental affinity for Earth. He was mostly lightning-based.
at least maybe water, wind, or earth.
Nice.
They've sent fiends after their respective elements. So, if there is a water fiend, I think we just heard them.
I only heard one voice.
If a water fiend is close, then we should get moving sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
Come on. Let's get dressed. Get the others. Whatever Sid's done to the ship, he'll have to do.
All right. And so, you get up and start getting your things. The others are awake and can hear you moving around.
Just
Oh, it's
Yeah,
working
yeah,
now?
while you had separate rooms, you were all woken up by the same nightmare. You all
Yeah, I hope we have second rooms. Otherwise, last night was very awkward for me and Mika.
Hang on, is my mic working again?
just like snip with an audience.
oh my goodness.
Sorry, not
Hello?
sorry.
Oh dear.
Come to Final Fantasy for NSFW content.
Emphasis on the come.
Whoa.
And I killed him. No.
I just restored sound to come back to that. What the fuck?
Tom.
Why?
I killed him.
Here I am trying to have a pretty serious little moment, and then it comes fucking Tom with just come.
Oh my.
Tom.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you already set that up.
Ah, God damn it.
I almost lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say then.
I mean, you're the one who went to snip and then come to Final Fantasy and like, and that was perfect setup. Like, all I had to do was grease the bowling ball.
Who else
my
but
goodness.
Tom?
I thought I was the pervert here. God damn it.
I knew it would make you laugh.
You're not wrong about that.
You
Oh,
are the pervert, yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Jesus, Tom.
And I still have the fucking ominous music playing. Who all isn't in the watch together, by the way? I see all but one of us is in here.
I'm in there and listening to music.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
You.
Oh, that brought me to tears. What Tom just said.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, because I don't know if you heard, because my Discord had a bit of a fucky moment.
Yes.
When I made that joke, like this is kind of what popped into mind with why I ended up saying it.
Ah, yes, I've seen that video.
Oh my goodness.
There's even like an SFM spy version.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Basically, when I
You're
said,
covered. You need a medic?
I'm trying. Okay. Jesus Christ.
you're good.
I'm alive. I am alive. That is about all I can say in my defense, though.
Oh.
I just quickly repeat what I just said earlier, just in case it didn't pick up on my mic, because Discord. At the time that everyone woke up, or at least some point, Alasai reacted by shooting a deer at the ceiling.
Okay, so your ceiling now has a gently glowing hole blasted in it, and you need to subtract the MP for that.
Okie doke, which would be 7, I believe.
Yeah. So
Indeed.
so if we hit any maps that are battle maps at any point, remember to subtract that.
I will. I feel sorry for the owners, and everyone probably heard that.
Oh yeah.
Also, did Alistair ever give Thanatos the persona last night?
No. So
No.
You wake up
So not
panicking
only
from a
is
nightmare
he-
and hungover.
So yeah, me screaming with a hangover is not a good combo.
Certainly not.
Thanatos is screaming, and then he's holding his head, rolling off the bed, and landing onto the floor in a fetal position, both in a slight panic, and holding his head, which is throbbing.
Good thing you aren't sharing a Okara yet, because that would be dignified.
Does Kyra also get the dream?
Yeah.
She's cursed by association with us right now.
Yes. So Thanatos is going to be there for a little bit, trying to ease his skull-splitting headache.
And Nii and Mika, as you two are stepping out, you see that Kyra's already out in the hall. Not in her armor yet, just still in her sleeping clothes. Essentially just a tank top and pajama pants, sort of leaning against the wall, taking breaths.
You too, huh?
All of us. We're getting the others.
Any idea what it means? You don't seem as rattled as I am.
We think it means there's a fiend close by. Water.
Ah, shit, another one already. Ugh.
Told you they're persistent. We're getting the others, getting into the ship, whatever done on Little wing. We'll have to do. I'm not waiting. What's that?
You hear a faint rumbling of thunder outside.
Oh, and it's thundering outside. Wonderful. Alright. Quick. Armor on. I'll go get Thanatos. Mika, do you mind getting Alistair?
Yeah, I'll go get him.
Mika heads over, and Alistair, after a moment, the door opens and you see Mika poking her head in.
You awake?
Well, at the moment, and as she sees him, he's having a bit of a deep breathing moment and sweat and all that and worry. And didn't realise he shot a hole in the roof.
You alright?
Something tells me more than a nightmare, but I'd be fine. And I probably have to pay for that.
Oh, shit.
Shit, I never did that before.
We'll worry about it later. Just leave some money on the counter or something. We don't have time to get bogged down with anyone asking questions. He wants us to move out early.
Got it. I just get my things and ready to go.
Alright. And, who was going for Thanatos?
Me.
Alright, so yep. You open the door and you see Thanatos curled up on the fetal position on the ground, clutching at his skull and groaning uncomfortably.
Certainly not the morning I hoped for, considering I nicked his sight again. Hey. You alright?
Can you get this axe lodged in my skull out?
Alistair, we could use a poisoner.
I'll be right there.
Another loud boom of thunder outside.
Putting a lot of emphasis on this thunder, and that's concerning me.
What the fuck is that noise?
A terrible storm. And now your doctor is here.
It's about fucking time.
Alright, so you come in, you cast Poisona. Once again, how much MP is that? I can just pop over to one of the maps and just subtract it now and carry it over.
Okay, Dirk, just quickly look.
Three.
It's 7.
It's 3.
For Poisona?
Poisona is 3.
Alright.
Alright. So you're down to 150 MP. Good to know. Alright. So, you come in, you wave your hands a little bit. A little wave of light goes over Thanatos' body, and the hangover wears off, and your senses become clear and sharp, and your headache subsides.
You good?
Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna get my stuff and just...
Well, fortunately, you're still in your armor. We didn't exactly. Oh, you were unconscious.
Yeah, wait a minute. Where's my scythe?
She took it. That's in your head.
Slowly looks over to me and holds out his hand.
Hey, you did flick the air. Don't do that.
Again, gestures with his hand.
That's 2 for 2, buddy. Goes the back side.
Alright.
Assuming everyone's armored up. You go upstairs.
Yep.
Let us be off.
Alright, let's get to the docks. Take off Little Wing, head towards that crystal spire. Still our best lead for this crystal of light. The quicker we get it, the better.
Alright. You make your way back downstairs into the common room, and when you emerge, surprise, surprise, you actually see Elizabeth there, sitting at one of the tables.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You see Elizabeth down in the common room, which only has like a couple other people who are just kind of snoring at their tables. She's sitting alone at one of them, also in sleeping clothes with a sort of irritated and haggard look on her face.
Elizabeth.
Oh, you're here too.
Judging by your haggard look and sleeping clothes, by chance did you have a nightmare about drowning being eaten?
Yep.
Just us then.
Okay, this is getting freakily serious.
What
Why
about
would
these
it-
other people?
Some of them stirred a little bit. One of them woke for a second, but no one else woke up.
Why would it
Okay.
show? Why would it affect her?
Are these villagers having dreams as well?
Dunno. Maybe.
Well, there's one way to find out. She's going to kind of gently one of them.
All right, you head over to one of them and a human man. You give him a gentle shake and head. What do you want now?
You alright? You were mumbling in your sleep at this table a bit. Bad dreams?
Yeah, something like that.
Water? Drowning?
How the fuck do you know that?
Ah, shit. Alright, it's them two. It's everyone. Whole village.
Well, it's more of a-
Everybody's
well, it's
having
a-
that dream.
Well, it's a city in scale, but yeah.
Whole city.
Why?
Well,
Feels
if this
My-
fiend's close by, they sounded rather unhinged. Maybe it was a threat, a warning. Just twisted fun.
I don't think the one that was speaking is the one that is the fiend in question.
No, what makes you say that?
Elizabeth sort of turns to the rest of you and crosses her arms.
Think about it for a second. What was it that the cackling guy said?
Make them scream.
And then in came the big thing. The thing that ate us in the dream.
Well, if that's the case,
So
who's
is the
who's the cackling guy? Definitely not Saran.
No idea. Maybe it's some other sick pet of his.
so is the big thing the fiend, or is it the cackling guy?
All I know is that something that large would not have a voice that high-pitched.
It's true.
And why
Whatever
would it
the
be giving it?
case.
And why would it be giving itself a command? Unless it just has a really stupid way of talking.
Well, we've seen a lot of things, but either way, we're heading back to the Little Wing and starting our search for the crystal immediately. If there is a fiend nearby, we can't afford to delay.
Right.
and whoever it is, we stop them both.
Right. I'll keep an eye on things here.
We'd appreciate it if the rest of you could stick around, at least until whatever threat to the city is here has subsided.
Right. Get going. You don't have time to waste.
Okie doke.
Right.
Although, could you give this to the owner of this place? It's. I made a hole in one of the rooms.
Elizabeth raises an eyebrow as you hand over how much, Gil?
Well, I'm not exactly sure how much the damage would be, so how much do we have?
You have 3,998.
I just give him 100.
Yeah,
I hope that should be enough to fix the hole.
It should be enough to just patch a hole.
Just 100 for safety.
Elizabeth looks over the pouch as he handed over and is like,
I don't know if this'll cover it, but I'll pass it along.
We can discuss more about the price after we find out what's going on.
Right. Gotta move on. I'll go find Jinri and Sid and make sure we're on the lookout.
Already on it.
So we're off to the airship landing.
Yep. So, following that, you head out, and it is still dark out, and when you step outside, you are immediately made aware of a thick downpour of water coming down on the city, and a thin mist that's rolled in to blanket the streets and everything around. It's not super thick, but in the dark hours of this pre-dawn period, it's hard to see very far, and you look off into the distance, and unless it's lit by more of the Magitech lighting cables, things are just bathed in shadow the farther away they get.
Okay, so bad dreams induced by water fiend and storm. Tell me that's not a coincidence.
Oh,
This
absolutely.
storm is definitely not natural. There's something wrong.
What
I
was your
feel it.
first clue?
Well, I just said I have that terrible feeling that I always get when we're about to go in danger, so it's pretty obvious.
Don't stop
But it looks
moving,
like
not
the
till we're at the
danger
ship.
is coming to us.
Well, might as well get a running start back to the landing so we won't get too wet.
So long as we can either beat this thing to the crystal, or if we arrive at the crystal at the same time, we can kill it. Just to stop this thing from destroying the crystal.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy either way, as long as we retain a crystal and that thing is gone, whatever it is. And that
Yes.
crazy person.
Yep. Now let's talk Milwaukee.
All right.
I decided talking and walking.
All right, so you make your way through the streets, and occasionally you can see that in a few homes that you pass, the lights are on as you're going. You can occasionally see people moving around inside. Doesn't take you terribly long to get back to the airship tower, and once you ascend and get back out onto the platform the little wing is attached to, you can see that the Sid, Biggs, and Wedge, along with Nabat, are all pretty much up and about already.
Sid, we're gonna need our ship. How's it looking?
Well, first of all, morning. You're up early.
Nightmares,
Nightmare.
everyone in the city has had them. There's a fiend about.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
You
So
hear Biggs
sorry
and-
for the
you,
rude
you hear
awakening.
Biggs in the back going, well, that explains a fucking lot.
We're in trouble, aren't we?
Yep.
You guys too?
The
Indeed.
storm is...
And that's Nabat. Hit us while
The
we were
storm-
sleeping, and it was pretty rough.
You think the storm is also part of it?
Hmm.
We've already talked to Elizabeth. If not so much to ask, could you guys keep an eye on things here? We're gonna head straight out towards where we think the crystal might lay. And if the fiend is here, then that's where it's heading to.
All right. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on things here. Not sure how much we can do if the fiend decides to crop its big ugly head in this place, but we'll do what we can.
If it does, please be careful and be safe.
You too.
If nothing else, looks like Stargazer. You have options.
Well, not as many as I would like, but yeah.
So it doesn't come to that. Alright, board up on the little wing. I'll start her up.
Can you fly her through this storm, Neen?
I flew her through the last one, didn't I?
It's not particularly windy right now. It's just raining hard and there's thunder.
I,
overhead.
I flew this thing through like Moros's destruction, and I had less vehicle skill at the time. I can handle this.
I have faith in Nee.
I thank you, Alistair.
You're welcome.
All right.
Let's get going.
Okay. So, Nabat, Biggs, Wedge, and Sid all disembark from the little wing. You all get on, find your positions. You get her started up, and after a couple minutes, you break away, you power up the internal engines and everything else, and before long you're pulling away from the city of Pura Oasis and flying towards the large island in the middle of the lake. Now, on a normal day, that would take a very long time, but as it is, you will be arriving at about dawn, roundabouts, we'll say. So the sun is just starting to come up as you're approaching, but the flight there feels ominously long.